Hello, my lovely seniors. I miss you. I miss our boot camps. And because I miss you, I'm just going to work out like we normally do. It's not a Monday. Today is a Tuesday, and I know I see you guys usually Mondays and Fridays, but, you know, we're in the cyber world now, so you can literally just watch me whenever and do this workout. And I'm kind of busy today. I'm on the run, but I still want to make a video for you that maybe you're busy. I don't know what you're doing, you know, isolated in your homes, but maybe you have only 30 minutes instead of the hour, and I wanted to just kind of put out a workout for you that gets pretty much everything in, all total body, balance, cardio, everything like that, within the 30-minute time period rather than the full hour. So you can pause me if you need to get equipment. It's just going to be your free weights, your dumbbells, a chair, and some water. I do suggest you wear some shoes because we're going to be doing some balance stuff today, and always make sure that you're kind of around things that aren't going to be moving. All right? So without further ado, I'm going to get you guys, bring your knees up nice and high. You do not have to follow pace with me, but you are trying to get those knees up as high as you possibly can. If you need the chair beside you for support, for balance, that's totally fine. Try and keep your core nice and active. Shoulders are back. Breathing deep. You're going to go for 10 more seconds. Sorry if the video is a little dark. I have all the lights on in the house and it's still miserable outside, so. And you're going to be doing butt kicks. So don't kick anything behind you. Remember that. You don't want to kick your heel into a couch or something. But I just want you to try to stand up nice and tall, and you're trying to get the knee behind the hip when you're doing that. So even if you have to have the chair in front of you holding on that way, that's fine. What you're trying to feel is a stretch in the front of the thighs. 5 more seconds. And good. Take a nice wide stance. Arms are up at shoulder height, and you're just going to twist side to side. Get a nice snap, crackle, pop of the spine. If you do get dizzy from the head going side to side, just look straight ahead while you're doing that twist. Also, please remember to lift that heel when you're doing the twist so that you protect the knee. Good, good. Decently wide stance. Try and have your feet facing straight ahead, and I want you to bend into one knee. So one knee is bent, one knee is straight, and you're going to feel that stretch in the inside of the leg. So you hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I want you to shift to the other side. If you can reach down towards the floor, that's good. If you can't, then you can just kind of prop an elbow onto that knee so that you're staying upright. Mainly, I just want you to feel the stretch on the inside of that straight leg. Just one more time to this side. And good. Walk those feet back in. Feet are about hip distance apart. Bend to the hips and the knees. You don't have to touch the floor. And then reach up as high as you can. Down as low as you can. Up as high as you can. And when you come up, I want you to squeeze your glutes. You go down as low as possible. Squeeze those glutes up. Down and up. Really get those arms right beside the ears. Core is active when you come up. 10 more seconds. And good. So again, don't hit anything behind you. Want you to keep your arm nice and straight, and you're going to do arm circles. One and then the other. The further you can get that arm going back, the closer you can get it towards the ear, the more you're going to stretch out the chest muscles. And then you're going to slow that down, and you're going to be doing bear hugs. Be careful with this one. You are using momentum to get the arms going back, and that is where you should feel the stretch, is when those arms go back behind you. You're loosening up those shoulders, biceps, chest area. Just a few more times. And you're good. If you like some water, feel free, you can sit, have a little breather, and just relax. So depending on your weights, if you have decently heavy weight, or if you have a shoulder injury, do not use both weights. You put one down and you're gonna hold one dumbbell sideways like this. We're pretty much doing what we did in the warm-up. You're gonna touch down and then go up over the head. So this is what it'll look like with one weight, down and up. If you have no problem with your shoulders, if your weights are decently light, feet are about hip distance apart. You do not have to touch the floor. Come down, squeeze those glutes when you come up. Down, squeeze the glutes when you come up. So if you do have a shoulder problem where you were going to physio and they said do not lift your weights over the head, that's totally fine. You can modify by just doing a bicep curl, okay? If you have no shoulder impingement whatsoever, you can use one or two weights over the head. Don't forget about those glutes. Pushing forward. And good. Okay, those weights can go down. I'm going to get you marching on the spot as high as possible with those knees, or if you can comfortably do that with your knees and your back, I want you jogging on the spot. Okay, but if this hurts because the bouncing of the joints, just lift the knees as high as you can. Keep that core active. Shoulders back. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and good. So I want you to grab both your weights. If you have balance issues, shoulders are going to be back, squeeze your glutes, core is active. I want you to stand on your right leg and just put your toe on the ground of the left foot. It's called kickstand. So it's a little bit of balance, but you still have that support. Or you can lift that foot off the floor. And of course, at any time, touch down if you need to, okay? We're gonna try and stand on that one leg, nice and tall in the torso, bicep curl up, and come back down. Bicep curl up, come back down. 3, 4, you do not have to keep the pace with me. 5, 6, this is at your own rate. 7, 8, I want you to shift to your other side. So you're gonna stand on your left leg. So again, if you have to, it's kickstand or lifting that leg, standing nice and tall, and bicep curl up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. Those weights can go down. So this one's gonna kind of open up the hips a little bit. It's a little bit of cardio. It's just the jack. So it's a pretty wide stance. Try to have your feet still straight ahead. Your main goal is to push into the hips though, okay? So you're gonna swoop down, bend the hips and the knees, and then reach up, squeezing the glutes. Swoop down and up, down and up. Hips go back, push those hips forward, nice and tall. You're reaching for the sky with those arms as high as possible, bending into the knees as much as is comfortable. A few more times. Last time. And good. You walk those feet back in, and you're gonna grab those weights. If you need water, have it anytime. Just pause me, okay? Otherwise, we're back to that Olympic lift. We're only gonna be doing 2 sets today. So feet about hips distance apart, 1 or 2 weights, okay? So if it's too much weight to do this, then I want you to put 1 weight down, and you're gonna come in front and then over the head. At any point, you can modify down. If you cannot lift the hands over the head because of a shoulder injury, don't worry about it. Just do a squat, bicep curl motion, okay? Your choice. Modify as needed, bending the hips and the knees, and squeeze those glutes, reaching up nice and high. Down and up. Down and up. Keep going, breathing deep. The glutes will release when you go down. Squeeze the glutes when you come up. Core nice and active. Don't worry about my speed. You do it at your own comfort level. Last time. Beautiful. Waist can go down. So again, if you want, you can just march on the spot or jogging on the spot. If you are jogging on the spot, still try and get those knees nice and high. Core is active regardless. Shoulders are back. If this starts to hurt, bring knees up like this. If you have balance issues, holding onto the wall while you're doing that, okay? Your choice. 3, 2, and good. Grabbing both of your weights. Should be breathing heavy now. So if you need something beside you, like a wall or a chair for balance, feel free to do so. Shoulders are back and down. Core is active. Squeeze your glutes. Shift your weight to that right side. You can either kickstand, where the other toe is there for your support, or lift that leg off the floor at any point, touching down, okay? Definitely squeezing that right glute. Bicycle up and come back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last time on this leg, 8. We're gonna shift to the other side. So that foot comes down, squeeze the glute, bend the knee a little bit, either kickstand or lifting the leg, and bicycle up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Space can come down. So once again, we're doing just the jack. So it's a wide stance, swooping down in the hips and knees as much as possible, okay? Come down, and then reaching up towards the sky. Those hips go way back, and then way forward, okay? So it's on the hips, down, then up, down, then up. Try not to just do this, okay? It's not just bending at the torso. Hips and knees are the ones that are helping you there. And good. Perfect. I want you to grab your chair. You're gonna sit down, have some water. Enjoy the invention of the chair. Okay, so what we're going to be doing before we go down onto the floor is a seated cross ankle stretch. So you're kind of on the edge of your chair. I want you to cross that right ankle over the left knee, however is comfortable for you, okay? So even if it's like this, that's okay. You just have to kind of deal with your hip and what it wants to do here. But regardless of where the knee is here, I want you to sit up as tall as possible. And then on your exhale, I want you to lean forward. Inhale, exhale, lean into that stretch. And once you feel that stretch come into play, probably in the hip area, the butt area, maybe the knee, I want you to stay there. Take a nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, you can work a little bit deeper into it. So try not to rock back and forth, okay? So forward motion, inhale. Go a little bit more forward. Inhale, a little bit more forward. So even if you don't physically see it or physically feel it, you're always trying to advance that stretch, get a deeper stretch in the hip. Lean back first, then switching to your other side. So again, crossing that left ankle over the knee, sitting up nice and tall, then leaning forward. Inhale. Exhale, leaning forward. Try and relax the shoulders away from the ears so you're not scrunched up like this. Breathing deep. And again, you'll probably feel the stretch mainly in that glute hip area. But if your knee is really, really tight, or if you have knee arthritis in the knee, then you might feel that here as well. So just be careful. Not sharp pain, just that just below pain. You're not comfortable. It should be a little bit uncomfortable of a stretch, but there's no pain involved whatsoever. I want you to lean back first, then bring that foot down to the ground. Good. Okay. So you can bring your chair. If you need the chair to get down to the floor, okay, just bring it off to the side here. Grab your weights. Don't forget your weights, okay? There's no point in doing more work than you need to. So you put the weights on the floor, okay? You go to your chair. If you've done this a gazillion times before in my boot camp, just get down onto the floor lying on your back. Otherwise, I want you to grab onto that chair, hands go on the chair first, and you put your feet back and you're going to kneel on the ground. Try not to put a lot of pressure on the knees, especially if you have bad knees, okay? But it's just there to help you get down on the ground like this. If you have bad wrists, bad knees, then as soon as you get down onto the floor, what you're trying to do is get down onto your back. So I'm going to get you to sit on your butt like this, and then your feet will come in front naturally, okay? I'm just going to scoot this camera down so that you can see me. Once you're in this position, I want you to lie down on your back, tucking the shoulders underneath you. If you're getting any dizzy spells or anything, just kind of let the head settle in this position, okay? Now we're going to work the triceps today. We're going to do a little bit of back. We'll see how much time we have. We only have about 15 minutes. So we'll see what we can get through. But I do want you to work your back and your glutes. So walk your heels nice and close in towards your butt. Tuck the shoulders underneath you. The hands are going to be right beside your hips. Core is active. No pressure should be on the neck whatsoever. You're going to bridge hip lift up. So you lift those glutes off the ground as high as possible, squeeze your glutes, and then come all the way back down. Lifting up, squeeze the glutes, come back down. Coming on up and down. Keep going. 4. You are trying to get as much range of motion in the spine as you can. No sharp pain though. And isolating the butt and the hamstrings when you're up there. Couple more times. Last time. Bring the hips down, and I want you to straighten your legs onto the ground. Just kind of rock your feet side to side, and that'll loosen up those hamstrings. Okay? Good. Feet can come back onto the floor. Knees are bent. This is the full crunch, 2 different versions. Hands going to go behind your head. The actual full crunch is elbows and knees come together, and then keep the knees bent. The head and the feet touch the floor. So they come up together and then down together. That's a lot for your lower back because both legs are coming off the floor at the same time. So if your back does not like that, then all you're going to do is a half crunch. So when you crunch up, one knee comes to meet you, put that back down, and then you switch to the other side. Okay? I'll do this set, half crunch. Hands behind your head to support your neck. You're going to come up and down. Up and down. You're fighting for range of motion. Try and pull that knee in. Bring those elbows up as much as possible. You're supporting the head and the neck, but not reefing on it, okay? This is just for safety of the cervical spine. The arms are there to support you, not pull you up. That comes from the abdominals. The abdominals lift the torso. One more time on this side. One more time on this side. And good. Tucking the shoulders under. Squeezing the glutes, feet about hip distance apart. I want you to grab your weights. Do not crush your skull. Okay? Don't close your eyes. You're going to have dumbbells coming towards your face. So in this position, follow along. Just watch me first before you try it yourself. The weights go up towards the ceiling. It's a decently wide stance. Palms are facing each other. Squeeze your glutes. Push that lower back into the floor. All I want you to do is bend the elbows, and those dumbbells come right beside the head. That's the reason why it's called a skull crusher. And then you're going to go up towards the ceiling. So be careful because you might be a little weeble wobbly, okay? And it's only the elbow. Generally what people do is they bend into the shoulders and the elbows and they punch themselves in the face, okay? So don't do that. Don't do that. Lift the weights up And go ahead, just bend the elbows. Those ways come right beside the ears. And then come up. Down and up. This is at your own pace here. I want you to concentrate on your glutes. You're going to squeeze those glutes. And just bend those elbows. Breathing deep. Just a few more times. And you're good. Weights can come down towards the floor. Okay, we don't have a lot of time left. We only got 10 minutes, and I want to do everything. So, yay, only one set. Not so yay, you're doing a gazillion things at once, which is okay. Don't worry, I'll make it decently nice for you guys. So I want you to make your way onto your stomach. In my boot camp, I'm not allowed to use the word flip. Flip onto your back. It sounds much too easy, and they hate it. It's actually more of a swear word. I'm not allowed to say the F word in boot camp. So roll or make your way any way that you comfortably can onto your stomach. So what we're going to be doing today is a 10-second plank. Now the 10-second plank, we're going to be doing it 3 times, and you're going to be on your feet or your knees. Now if you pop up onto plank from your feet, nothing is touching the floor except for your toes and your forearms, but that's a lot of pressure on the arms, so you want to drop down onto your knees, and that cuts your body in half, okay? Don't tent the hips. You're not like this. Your hips are flat. There should be no difference in the hips from the knees to the feet, and at any time you can pop up and down between the two, okay? So once you're starting on the floor, those elbows are underneath you. You can tuck the toes under, or just make sure your knees are in position. And I want you to pop up into plank. Just hold that posture. If you have shoulder problems or arm problems, you can drop down to your knees. And relax. Come all the way down onto the floor. Breathe deep. And again, roll those shoulders back and down. Make sure the forearms are underneath you. Tucking back those toes and lifting up into plank. So again, if you can't do it from here, you're dropping down onto knees. You're still squeezing your glutes. Core is nice and active. And relax all the way down to the floor. Dropping the arms, dropping the head even if you'd like. That's up to you. One more time. Those forearms coming underneath you, tucking the toes under, and you're gonna lift yourself off the ground. 10-second hold from the feet or the knees, your choice. 3, 2, 1. Relax all the way down. Good. Your arms are going to come behind you, so they'll be at your hip area, relaxing the head onto the floor. Now this one, it is kind of a back extension position, but it is a lot more than normal happy back extension that we normally do. So I do want you to squeeze your glutes. Those arms are reaching by the hips, and I want you to lift the head, lift the shoulders, and you're reaching those hands towards your knees. Legs are active, and relax. Inhale, head, shoulders, rib cage, come up, squeezing the glutes, reaching those arms towards your feet. Coming back down, and up, squeezing your lower back. You might feel this in your core, which is fine. And relax back down. Hands are going to come underneath your shoulders, and I'm going to get you to push up into tabletop position so you can bring your knees wide, feet are together, and you're going to push back into child's pose. This is different for everyone. So depending on your hips and knees, it might just look like this, which is okay. If you can get the hips back, you're working on the head, coming closer towards the floor, breathing, chest coming towards the floor with every exhale. Hands are going to come underneath your shoulders to help push you up into a kneeling position. Now, kneeling position might be a little tricky for people because they might not be able to get their butt down to their heels, so you might have to lean forward a little bit and just pushing back like that, which is fine, okay? So that is up to you. If you can sit up on your heels, core is nice and tall. We're going to end with knee twists on the floor. I'm just moving my weights out of the way. So what I want you to do is scoot forward on your mat, if you're on your mat or on the floor, and you're going to lie down on your back. Okay, hopefully you guys can see me. Arms are going to go out into a capital T position. Your feet are together, your knees are together, knees are bent. And I want you to take a nice deep inhale, and when you exhale, twist the knees to the right. You are trying to breathe through the belly, so inhale, and when you exhale, the hips themselves, you're trying to push them forward. So when the hips push forward, the knees can stack on top of each other. The other thing that you're trying to watch for is keeping that left shoulder blade down towards the floor. Inhale. When you exhale, twist. So you push the hip forward, press that left shoulder blade down onto the ground. Trying to relax into this stretch. Gently coming back to center. Reposition if you have to, or you have to tuck your shoulder blades under, something like that. Just make sure that your knees are quite bent, feet are together, and then you're going to drop both knees to the left. Again, trying to breathe through the belly. Pushing that right shoulder blade into the ground. And you're trying to get those hips stacked so the knees can also stack. The feet are on the floor no matter what. They're there so that you can kind of relax into this stretch. Your feet stay on the floor very, very gently, coming back to center. And I want you to hug the knees in towards the chest and just gently rock side to side. Eventually you're going to roll onto your side so that your knees are bent, and then you're going to come up any way that's comfortable into that seated position. We're going to come up onto the chair. So if you need the chair for assistance, essentially you're going to get onto your hands and knees like this, crawling over to the chair. You can put your forearms on the chair or your hands enough so they can get that foot underneath you, even if you have to kind of pull that leg underneath you so that you can squeeze your glutes and stand up. Okay? Now, I'll give you some time to do that. I'm going to reposition the camera here. I'm going to leave the chair like this, but you can face me for sure if you'd like. We're going to be doing hamstring stretch. So with the hamstring stretch, you are on the edge of your chair, so that, especially if it has handles on it, but you just don't want to get impinged with the hip, okay? So once you're on the edge of your chair, you're sitting up nice and tall, your right leg is going to go in front of you, toe pointing up towards the ceiling. Both hands are going to reach forward. Deep inhale. When you exhale, reach a little bit more forward. Try and relax the head and the shoulders. Don't worry, this isn't a new tattoo. I'm bored, I'm isolated, so I have some fake tattoos that are adorable, and I put another one on my leg, so so don't worry. I still only have the one tattoo from years and years ago. And you're going to gently come up from there, switching to the side. So it'll be that left leg, the knee is straight, the toe points up towards the ceiling, reaching forward. You definitely do not have to reach for the toe here, okay? So if this is enough of a stretch, that's fine. If you can get to the knee, if you can get to the shin, that's fine. What you're trying to do is relax the shoulders, and every exhale trying to get a little bit lower down the leg. Definitely you'll feel a stretch probably in the back of the knee, okay? Don't forget to breathe. And then very gently, it's the torso that comes up first, shoulders back and down. We're going to briefly stretch the neck and then the calf. So calf always, okay? I make you guys do it pretty much every single class, and that's because it's very, very important. But first, we'll do the neck. So I want your shoulders rolling back and down. You're going to tilt your neck to the side. Now the trick here is to relax that shoulder while you're tilting the head to the side so you can feel a stretch in the side of the neck. Core is active, don't lean, Okay, it's nice and tall. It's just the head doing the movement. Coming up and then tilting to the other side. Coming back to center, couple shoulder circles. So you're going to find a wall or a couch that's not moving, okay? I'll do it on the couch so you can kind of see where my feet are doing. But if you're going on the wall, essentially what it is that toe is as high as possible on the wall, the heel's on the floor, the knee is straight. Now generally what ends up happening is you're trying to push your head towards the wall so that you're touching the wall. What I need you to do is stand tall, push the hips forward. It's the hip bone right from the pelvis that comes forward that stretches out that calf and that knee. Your hip bone might not touch the wall, probably won't touch the wall, okay? So just keep that in mind. You're trying to feel a deep stretch in the Achilles tendon, back of the knee, calf, foot, toe area. Come back, switching to the side. So again, as high as possible with that toe, heel still on the floor, knee is straight. Make sure your hips are facing the wall or facing the couch. You're tall in the torso, and then push forward. Inhale nice and tall. From the hip, push forward from that pelvic bone. The hip bone of that foot is going towards the wall, not your face. One more deep breath here. And you can ease back and release. Well, thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope everybody's well, and, I'll just wave, I wave on my street on the way by through a window. We now have freezing rain. I'm looking at my window right now, so that's really great. But hopefully things will get better and we can see each other soon. But in the meantime, hopefully you're enjoying the workouts. Do let me know. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. I'm posting it on Facebook and all that other social media stuff. So share it with all of your friends. Send them an email. I will email them. I can personally call them and walk them through it on how to exercise via YouTube channel. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks for joining me. See you again soon.